Hi, this is Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo, and this is Los Líderes. Chapter 1 begins in 1964 when I was born in Havana, Cuba, in the height of communism and the Castro brothers. And in 1968, we won the lotto. In other words, we got a political refugee status, and we got political asylum here in the United States. And on 12/12/68, we got to Miami, Florida, to the international airport, where we spent 2 weeks processing at military housing, World War II barracks. They're no longer there. It's just a plaque that's left. I went to see it not too long ago. Then my dad and mom said, we're going to California. We don't too many Cubans in Miami, so they wanted us to kind of assimilate, so we went to LA. And I went from being Cuban to Mexican. It was all beautiful, man. I'm multicultural. Okay. What does it mean to be a leader? I mean, to me, being a leader is, it's really about coming to work for everyone else, not but for yourself. To me, being a leader is putting yourself at risk for the good of others, the good for us in public service as a police chief. It's the good of the people you lead, the good of the people you serve. And I think that for me, being a leader is, it's not about the good days. Anybody can do my job on the good days. I always say anybody can be the school principal for a day. It's about the tough days. It's about the rough days. It's about the days that you know you're going to come, that will come. And it's about being there for everyone, community and employees, on the worst of days and help them get through it. No, look, I think to me, I love the spirit of Houston, man. I mean, I grew up in California, spent the first 21 years of my law enforcement career at the California Highway Patrol, then came to Austin, Texas, great city. Spent 9.5 years there as a police chief, but then I saved the best for last, and that's Houston, Texas. It's just great melting pot, where nobody cares where you're from. Nobody cares if you're rich, you're poor, you're white, you're black, you're Hispanic, you're whatever it is. All they care about is, are you a good person, right? Are you a good neighbor? Are you a good friend? And I love the fact, as the first Latino chief of police in Houston, is that we have 600,000 immigrants and Bye-bye. ¿Cómo está, señora? See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Gracias. ¿Cómo se llama? Gracias.
Porque siempre hablo por la TV.
Ah, gracias, gracias. Que Dios la bendiga.
Edilberta González. Pero de cariño me dicen Edil.
Okay, mucho gusto. See, that just made my day. I love it when people say hi, because the alternative is not very good. They flip you the bird, you know what I'm saying? So that never gets old. But I like building bridges, and I like bringing people together. And one of the things that I love about being in Houston, man, is that unlike other cities like Austin, where it's not, east-west divide on 35, you go in Houston, I don't care what restaurant you're going to, you're going to see beautiful people of all color, right? Different races, gender, ethnicities, places of the world, speaking like different languages, and everybody's just enjoying this great place we call Houston. So I'm glad to be able to be part of that bridge building and part of that welcoming city that Sylvester Turner always talks about, which makes me really, really proud to be a Houstonian. Don't understand sometimes. I think that, especially in this time in our nation's history where, let's face it, man, I mean, hatred is up right now. We got to be real. Hatred is up. We've got people in the highest levels of government speaking very ugly about people of color, people from other nations, people about other religions. And I think, to me, this is a moment in time in our nation's history where leaders need to step up. You need to lift up your voice. You need to be heard. You need to speak out, because at the end of the day, especially for someone in law enforcement, people are watching. And what I love about the blessing of speaking English and Spanish, well, English is my second language, is that I'm able to communicate with the greatest force multiplier that we have, which is the community itself. I mean, when you build legitimacy, you build trust with the community. In our city, we have about 600,000 immigrants, disproportionately Latino, a lot of Latino, a lot of them that don't speak English. That lady just came up here speaking to me in Spanish. When I can talk to them and build a relationship of level of trust, that I think increases the opportunity for them to step forward, which is what this is all about here at Xfinity, and say, hey man, I care about you. I care enough about you to speak to you so you can understand me. I'll even tweet in Spanish and things of that nature. And I think that that makes us all safer. It makes it welcoming for everybody. At the end of the day, it makes every single person in this city safer and more secure. Okay. Let me tell you, Christmas Eve, I'm Cuban, born in Cuba. Our tradition is a lechon asado. So you get a whole pig. Back in the day when my old man was alive, I used to have to hold the pig when my dad would stab it, little old school. As I'm holding up a little pig, about 80 pounds, 90 pounds. Then you spend the whole day slaughtering it, shaving it, cleaning it. Then you marinate it overnight. Then you cook it all day in the ground. So you got that succulent pig with the rice and beans and yuca and frijoles negros, todas esas cosas, all those things. Life is, hey, all that garlic, life don't get much better than that. But you know what? I don't discriminate. I can move into Thanksgiving. I mean, I'll never forget. Can I tell you a quick story? I married Tanya Joe Bourne from Michigan. Blonde hair, green eye. One day we're having my favorite American meal of the year is Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, yams with melted, the burnt marshmallows. And they have a huge reunion in West Los Angeles. We live in Los Angeles. To this day, I've not forgiven my mother-in-law. She decides to have a Mexican Thanksgiving. I mean, because she's got all this family from out of state. Do you have any idea how disappointed I was that instead of turkey with all the fixings, I ended up with a tamale? That was very tough, and she didn't even prepare me for it, and I have not let go. I'm still complaining. She's never done it again. You want to do that? Do it the day before Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, but don't mess with my Thanksgiving. Well, let me say this. Okay, well, the awesome future, we're not quite there yet, but my kids, they're not even kids, my daughter Melissa Ann, she's now going to be 31 in October. Her little brother, Matthew Alexander, is 27. Then I've got little Jake here, who's 11. And the future of awesomeness is I think, social consciousness, awareness, and emotional intelligence of young people. I mean, the Parkland kids started it. There is an awakening amongst young people, and it's given me such hope. Because I think the reason we got to, as a country where we're at right now, where there's a lot of crazy things going on, is that we all lost hope and faith in the system, and we stopped participating in actually governance by voting, by being engaged, by running for office. And these young people now, with this great awakening going on, the second they turn 18, more and more of them are voting. They've got a great spirit. They are actually getting things done. And because of that, as challenging as things appear, I believe with all my heart, because of the youth in this country, the future bodes well. It's going to be awesome, and our best days still lie ahead of us. If I was talking to my 14-year-old self, I would say, keep being. It's okay to be a mom and daddy's boy, because I was, and it worked out for me because I'm here. But one of the things that I don't think I've done a good job with is my own physical well-being, right? In terms of getting into healthy habits of working out, making time. And I would tell myself early on at 14, where I was really active, don't lose that. Keep making time to play basketball every day. I was doing it in Austin until I got here. I've been too busy. But keep making time for your physical well-being, your fitness, your emotional well-being and wellness. Because when you invest in yourself, you're going to have, I think, longer life, healthier life, and ultimately you'll get to enjoy your loved ones that much longer. Again, this is Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo, and this was Los Líderes.